In the stillness of the night, the hills of Jerusalem stand silent. The wind whispers through the branches of ancient trees. The children of Israel, tested through centuries, have grown weary. Oppression, injustice, and worldliness have stolen the light of faith from their hearts. In that very darkness, Allah sends a light, a prophet, a king, a righteous servant. Dawood, David, peace be upon him. He was not only a ruler, but a devout worshipper, humble and God-fearing. The mountains echoed with his praises of Allah. The birds swayed to his melodious hymns, and hearts bore witness to his justice. When the words Subhanallah left his lips, even the shadows of the mountains resounded with the remembrance of God. It was the era when the children of Israel witnessed the brightest chapter of their history. Dawood, David, peace be upon him, transformed power into worship. He did not dwell in golden palaces, but worked with his own hands, crafting iron ornaments and armor. Allah had softened iron in his hands. It was a miracle, yet he used it as a means of earning his livelihood. His heart was gentle, yet his judgment was firm as iron. When two parties came before his court, he did not listen merely as a king, but as a prophet. The Quran says, "And Dawood realized that we had tested him, so he fell down in prostration, seeking his Lord's forgiveness, and he became among those who turned back to Allah." The voice of Dawood, David, peace be upon him, lives on in the Zabur, Psalms, a divine book filled with love, praise, and glorification of Allah. His hymns softened hearts and drew souls closer to their Creator. In his Zabur it was written, "O Allah, let my heart never be empty of your remembrance, and let my justice never part from your command." Thus, under his rule, the breeze of faith began to flow. Justice filled the markets, peace dwelled in the homes, and the fear of God resided in the hearts. Every evening, as the sun set behind the hills of Jerusalem, Dawood, peace be upon him, would stand before his Lord. He was a king, yet he bowed upon the ground in prostration. He was wealthy, yet his heart was humble. He was a warrior, yet his eyes carried tears. Time went on. The justice of Dawood, David, peace be upon him, had turned the land into a paradise. But once again the old rust began to settle upon the hearts of the children of Israel. Greed, worldliness, and neglect of the command of God. In the days to come, they were destined to face a trial that would make them a lasting lesson for all of history. This was the kingdom founded upon piety and righteousness, but when nations shake the pillars of faith, Allah changes their faces, their very essence, and that destiny was soon to come. There was peace in Jerusalem, and the justice of Dawood, David, peace be upon him, flowed from his court into every street and every town. But as time passed, the warmth of faith in the hearts began to fade. The glitter of the world dazzled their eyes, and once again the children of Israel became slaves to wealth and desire. So Allah willed to test them through a simple command, a trial of just one day. The command was, "You are forbidden to catch fish on the Sabbath, the day of Saturday." Surah Al-Araf 163. Allah willed to see who would disobey him and who would refrain, purely out of fear of him. But Satan whispered into their hearts, "If the fish appear in abundance on Saturday, why not find a trick so that the command is not broken and the profit is still gained?" Satan was pleased. This was the first net humans ever cast, in defiance of their Lord's command. The town was divided into three groups: those who disobeyed, the cunning ones who devised tricks, those who obeyed, who stopped and held firm, and those who remained silent, the watchers who dared not speak. Days passed. On Saturdays, the fish began leaping upon the surface of the sea, so many that the waters shimmered with their gleam. But on Sundays, the sea was empty and still. It was a test from Allah, and the disobedient ones kept laughing. In the darkness of night, they gathered in their homes, laughing, shouting, and rejoicing, while the righteous fell in prostration, weeping in their homes, calling upon Allah, "O Lord, save us from their sins." Then one night, the town fell silent. The waves of the sea grew still. The moon dimmed, and a strange silence spread across the sky. Morning came. The righteous people of the town awoke, and when they opened the doors of their neighbor's home, there were no humans inside. Righteous man, one, in a voice trembling with fear and shock, "Allahu Akbar. What has happened here?" these faces covered with hair, and these cries, these screams, and we cursed them and said, "Be apes, despised and humiliated." Surah Al-Baqarah 65. The punishment lasted for 3 days. The apes cried and screamed. They recognized the humans, but the humans turned away in disgust. The righteous did not go near them, for Dawood, David, peace be upon him, had commanded, "Stay away from those upon whom Allah's punishment has fallen, lest you become part of it as well." 3 days later, the apes died. Their bodies were carried away by the waves of the sea. Silence fell upon the land. The town lay deserted. Only one lesson remained. Before the command of Allah, it is obedience, not intellect, that prevails. This was the nation that abandoned the sanctity of the day of Sabbath, that crossed the limits of Allah for the sake of worldly greed. Allah did not destroy them by death. He changed their forms so they would remain a sign of warning for all generations. The voice of Dawood, David, peace be upon him, echoed through the psalm, "O mankind, when will you learn? As long as you do not bow before the command of Allah, the earth itself will turn away from you."